Now. So, welcome to this webinar. Thank you everybody for joining. There will be a chance at the end as well to ask any questions that you may have or that come up as I go through this presentation. It's pretty brief. It's kind of a summary to help you get a little bit better acquainted with SwimTayka and then how to start the process of volunteering. I will introduce myself first as well. I'm Ash. I'm the fundraising manager and I also handle volunteer coordination at SwimTayka. I've been with SwimTayka for, I want to say about 1.5 years now. So I'm, always getting to know things better and better and trying to make the process run as smoothly as possible for all of our volunteers. So to start, what we do is SwimTayka, as I'm sure you probably already know, is a drowning prevention charity. We provide free swimming lessons and drowning prevention education to underprivileged children who live along the Earth's open waters. So that's rivers, lakes, and oceans. Anywhere you could swim or potentially drown, essentially. Why we do this is because 236,000 annual deaths occurred due to drowning. A little more, a little less, depending. Over 50% of that number is people who are under 25 years old, and drowning is one of the top 10 leading causes of death amongst 1 to 25-year-olds, and it's the 5th leading cause of death for ages 1 to 4. So that younger childhood demographic is really what SwimTayka is targeting. A few locations that we've had have been Peru, Brazil, Jamaica, Mozambique, and Indonesia. This is not all of the programs we've ever had, and currently we have 4 programs we're working with that I will go into a bit more detail about later. So the way that we kind of operate is we connect passionate individuals such as yourselves with partner programs, existing NGOs in local areas, so that people like you, volunteers, swim teachers, etc., can go and provide their skills to these communities. We do this by dealing with the issues at a local level. That means working with people in the community who are already there, who maybe they already have a program established, maybe we're helping them get off the ground. It varies place to place. We build long-lasting partnerships with these local organizations so that we can leave a legacy of confident swimmers and clean water stewards, because we also focus pretty heavily on water safety, but then also just admitting bonus people, and then also kind of water conservation and eco-friendly practices. We encourage established teaching methods around drowning prevention and swimming teaching. So sometimes these places, maybe these programs have already been running, but the standard of teaching, like they don't have a super great curriculum established. But SwimTayka is able to take curriculums and all the things that we already know and that our swim teachers already know, and then take it and teach it. So essentially a lot of it is teaching teachers. We want to equip the local communities so that they can serve within there, rather than us just, sending one-off people, and then once those people leave, that's the end of it. That is not what we're trying to do. So I kind of also already mentioned developing and promoting sustainability. So this is both within the functioning of the program, sustainability within that, but then also sustainability with the water, the beaches, the nature, and that kind of thing. So just some of our achievements that we have, not limited to these, just a quick overview. We've reached over 8,000 children. We've had programs in Peru, Brazil, Mozambique, Bali, Jamaica, Dominican Republic, Bahamas, Vietnam, Tanzania, and Uganda. And we've had over 40 volunteers working towards this really good goal of drowning prevention. So currently, one of the programs and the longest program that's been with us at this point is our one in Peru. That is actually happening, what's happening right now. It happens in the very early start of the year, January up till very early March. So if that is a program that you're interested, technically it would be in 2026, but that's still something that, you can get started with if you want to. So one of our other programs is in Brazil. This one runs in the summer. Most of ours run in the summer, really, except for Peru. It's great. The Brazil organization we work with also has other volunteering opportunities within their organization. So you can go to teach swimming, but you can also then go and help teach English at one of their classes, or go to their girls and women empowerment group, that kind of thing. A lot of our partners don't just do swimming, and they are more than happy for you to get involved in other areas if that's something you want. So we also have Indonesia, Bali. This last year we had 11 volunteers go out to. It was very popular. It's already shaping up to be one of our more popular choices this year as well. It's great. I think people enjoy the location, and there's always the opportunity of before or after your volunteer experience, if you wanted to stay in the area or go exploring afterwards on your own, you're already there. And our newest program that we're working with is in Uganda, where incidentally, Liz here has actually been to this location before, which is very fun. Not through us, but just in her personal life, which is a really fun coincidence that I'm definitely going to be thinking about for a while. So how to volunteer with us and to kind of join our team in doing this. The 1, 2, 3 of it is registering your interest on our website. Because all of you are here, you probably already have done this. And then once that's happened, you get sent a volunteer application to your email, and all you need to do is click on the link and sort of start filling out the details, choosing what time you want to go, etc. Once that's completed, you will set up your fundraising page on Just Giving, and you'll have a lot of help with that as well, both through webinars, emails, any one-to-one calls you want to have with me as well. And then it's basically book your flights and get ready to go. There are some things that can take a little bit longer with paperwork. It can go in the volunteer application form, but there's things that maybe you'll send to me later on because they're not at hand yet, but we will make sure that all of the information is where it needs to go by the time it needs to be there. So some of the things that you will need to volunteer with us are a qualification in teaching swimming. This can really vary on location and the kind of organizing body that you get the qualification from. For people in the UK, the most common one is an STA teaching swimming certification. There's lots of places that you can get this as well if you don't already have one, for different countries such as Canada, the US, anywhere else. The qualification will likely be something different, but equivalent. And if you don't already kind of know what that is, you can let me know. We can work together and figure that out. You will also need a DBS check. That's also UK specific, however. So if you are anywhere else, it would be an equivalent background check. This is just for our safeguarding practices and making sure that everything is safe for the children. You'll need to have a commitment to a minimum of 2 weeks volunteering. our general time slots are 2 weeks at a time. However, if you did want to volunteer longer, that is a possible option as well. You would just have to let us know. You'll need 2 professional references. This can be if you have recent reference letters already, you can submit those, or you can simply give us the name and email address or contact information of your 2 references, and then I'll send them our template. And then once they send that back, it's in our system, it's sorted, and you don't have to worry about it anymore. And then, of course, the last thing that you need is an enthusiasm and passion for teaching. It's not it's not like a super challenging stint that you would have to do. You have loads of support who are there, staff, full-time staff who are there, some local volunteers. There will be people who know how the program runs. So it's not like you'll be leading things all on your own in the 2 weeks that you're there. You'll have plenty of support. But the people who tend to thrive the most are those who are really able to kind of get lost in the teaching and the purpose and hanging out with the kids, honestly. Well, I can get my thing going again. So at this point, that's been kind of my general spiel. If anybody has any questions that they'd like to ask about anything that we covered or anything that we didn't, now is the time to ask.
I have a question. Ash, do you have a calendar laid out as to when all these different programs are running seasonally or annually, I guess?
Yes. Well, on our website, under Get Involved, it will list each program or location name. If you click on that and then look at the page, it will say what dates it's running for. That is probably the most repeatedly accessible way to see that. So all on the website as well. If you want ever any more specifics, you can email me or email volunteer@SwimTayka just for more details. So Peru is January to early March. The rest of them are late June to September-ish. Colleen, you have your hand raised.
No? Hello?
Oh, there we can hear you.
There
Oh,
it
can you
is.
hear me?
Yeah.
Hi, thanks for the presentation. Maybe it says this somewhere, but I just thought for the background check, how soon do you need that, or how late do you need that? Sometimes I feel like they don't last very long. So when are you looking to receive that?
Well, if it's one that you already have, we look and ask for it to have been carried out within the last 2 years of
Oh, okay.
of when your volunteer stint is. So if it falls within that and it's an existing one that you have, that's fine. If you
Okay.
don't have a current one, then the deadline for getting one would be 2 months before you go out. Obviously, an earlier start, the better. It just so it gets there faster, but that's also the time process of that can vary in different countries as well. Sometimes it only takes a couple days, sometimes it might take weeks.
Thank you.
Katya, you had the next question?
Yeah. So Colleen's daughter and my daughter wanted to volunteer at the same time in Bali. And I know probably the girls are already starting to make summer plans with summer jobs and university and things like that. So when would they know if they've been selected and what weeks are available and how do they ensure that they would be together?
Yes. So, pretty much once you have completed the volunteer application, which includes the initial deposit, that is what secures your place. As long as any of the information that comes through later, such as background check, references, etc., as long as that doesn't pose a problem, if nothing comes up in that process, you are guaranteed to go, really. In terms of the specific dates for Bali as well, that's something that we are looking at right now and should have listed very soon. Getting them going together as well should be fine, especially because once they are in the application process, they're already on our list. They'll be the first ones to know when these dates go. And also, even just in this conversation and making me aware of that, if anything did happen where their dates were split, just let me know. We'll be able to fix that. They will be able to go together.
And how many people, like how many volunteers would you have, like for any 2-week period?
So we have a limit of 5 volunteers for a 2-week period because that's generally the most that the programs can host at once. And we really aim to send out at least 2 at a time as well, so that we don't really have just sole people who feel like they're all on their own. We really try to avoid that. Does that answer your question? Okay.
Yeah, I probably have more, but I'll give somebody else a chance to ask some questions first.
We've got someone coming in. Hi, Marissa. We've kind of gone through our presentation. We're doing questions now. So if you had any off the top of your head, feel free.
Hello. Yeah, sorry, I got distracted and then it's just like, oh no. So so apologies for being a bit late there. I haven't got any questions as yet, so no, that's fine.
Okay. I will also add that has been recorded, the presentation, so with everyone's consent, I will be able to send it out to people who were maybe late or who couldn't make it. I'll just kind of assume that everyone's okay with that, but if you're not, you can say something in the chat or message me privately, something like that, just to let me know. Joanna, you have a question.
Hi, Ash. Yes, I think you covered it before. Sorry, I was late coming in. The flight, because I'm looking at the summer Bali opportunity to do the voluntary work.
Yeah.
Do the teaching. Can you tell me a bit more about like the flight? I'm coming from London.
Right. So you will need to book your own flights. Just that's not something that we really have the ability to help that much with. So it's again, that's one of those things, better sooner rather than later as far as prices go. So it is ideal if you can arrive the Saturday before your week starts, and then you can leave the Saturday or Sunday after your week ends, if that makes sense. That way you've got a day or two to acclimate yourself, get over any jet lag, and then on the way back home, you've got maybe another weekend day to do something around the area if you want. Or also, if new volunteers have come in, that's kind of a handover time as well, if you're able to overlap with anybody, either on the way there or on the way out.
And what's the temperature like around that time? The climate like around that time?
Pretty warm, hot, really. I've not heard terrible things about it, but just kind of your typical summer wear, maybe shorts, loose shirts, that kind of thing. And we do have some more kind of extensive packing lists advice that we get into a bit later down the line as well. Does that answer your question?
Okay, yeah. I suppose this those dates. I'm gonna have to do that one-to-one with you when I get down to the application.
Yeah.
And see how far I can go with the dates and the flights and the accommodation. Is that included?
Yes, that is something that the programs, they either own their own properties for that, or they have their trusted connections that they then don't know, how do you say, that's where people stay in. So it's
Yeah.
all, well within the program. It's within the fundraising target, that kind of thing.
Yeah. And the flight and the transit in terms of not transit, I suppose it's transportation from the airport to
The program also will take care of that. We get your flight details in advance. We give it to them. They make sure that there's someone there to pick you up when you arrive, and then they have somebody take you back to the airport at the end.
And is the language a big problem? Because I can't speak the local lingo.
Also completely fine. There are resources where you can learn some of it. There's generally a few key words that are helpful to know, but otherwise it's okay. Most of our volunteers who go out don't know the languages, and it's fine. People at the program, the organizers, they speak English. There's enough people there who speak English for it to be all right. And they generally teach you as well a few like really key teaching phrases for the children when you're actually in the pool. So it's really helpful.
Someone asked about the fees of going to Bali, actually. That's a good question.
I will
Going from UK to Bali, yeah.
get to that one after a couple of the other hands we have. I think Katya, yours was next.
I'm wondering if there's any people that have volunteered for the Valley program that would be open to chatting with, like potential volunteers, just to sort of answer more questions.
Yes, there is. We have ambassadors for all of our programs. We haven't 100% finalized our Bali one, but it may be the same person as last year, in which case she's great. If it's someone new, they will also be great and have experience with us. So I can guarantee there will be someone who is an ambassador who's ready to speak for the program and the nitty-gritty details of being there that you will be able to have access to in the near future. Liz, I think Colleen, yours was next as far as I can see.
Yes, thank you. So you said the Bali dates or program isn't open yet. Is that correct?
It's
like, has anyone applied? Like, is there still room in the Bali program?
Yes.
That's what I'm wondering. Okay.
There is still room, yes. If there wasn't,
at all dates and all time points, or is anything filled up? I guess that's what I'm kind of wondering.
All of the time slots are available. If they become unavailable, they will be removed from the website and the forms as an option. But at the moment, they are all available.
And you think that will be posted approximately when, so that we know when to check? Like, we should just keep checking on an ongoing basis?
It should be by the end of this month.
By the end of this month, okay. Mm-hmm.
And can you request certain weeks?
Not really. They're kind of from the start and then 2 weeks increments from there. It just makes it easier for the programs to handle kind of the turnovers and the rooms and all of those things. If
you wanted to go in like August versus June, or I can't even remember what the months are, but like, can you choose your month?
There will be all the 2-week time slots will be listed, and then you'll be able to choose from there. So whatever's in July or August or September or whenever, all of the options will be available, and you'll pick whichever works best for you and your schedule. Liz, I think you were next.
Thanks, Ash. I just wanted to know, is there a dollar figure that needs to be raised for the volunteering program, similar to what my my fundraising that I have for my swim?
Yes. So in British pounds, the minimum is 1,500. We ask people to aim for 1,800, as we find that it helps psychologically in bringing in donations, and then also people tend to exceed their targets anyway. Okay. In dollars, it's probably 2,000 ish. But I'm also not sure if Canadian and American dollars are quite the same either.
No.
So, whatever the translation of 1,500 pounds is. Marissa.
Hi, Ash. I know I was a bit late. You might have answered it already. When we go over to the destinations, are you just teaching in pools, or is it in the sea?
That can depend on the program. It is mostly in pools, but usually, depending on weather and availability, they also try to take the kids out to whatever the local shore, lake, ocean is, so that they can have like a fun little beach day, but then also some more relevant experience in the waters that surround them.
Okay, and is it what sort of age range is it? Can it be any age range?
The age range is generally about 4 to 12.
4 to 12.
Yeah, so young, but not like baby teaching.
Not baby teaching.
Yeah.
Okay, no, that's fine. Thank you.
So question in the chat from Heather: how much help do we get with raising the money, and how will we also be needed for 2 weeks away, or can we do 1 week? So you will have a lot of assistance with raising the money. We have resources, booklets, pamphlets, some posters, things like that, as well as no need to apologize for your mic. That is fine. And we'll have webinars as well. And at some point, you will also be able to be kind of in a group chat with other volunteers, which can be really helpful for bouncing ideas off of each other. You know, maybe if something works really well for one person, they can share it with others and everyone else can try if they want. But, you know, we've got templates for like sending out emails to coworkers, friends, families, lots of suggestions. And that is, again, that's part of my job. That's what I'm here to help with. Any one-to-ones, any additional support that you may need, I will be here for. We do fundraise specifically through a platform online called Just Giving. It makes things really easy. You just set up your page, and then anybody with the link can donate. And that's another thing. I'll have another webinar on that, on how to set that up, as well as other kind of fundraising tips and tricks. As far as 2 weeks or 1 week, we really prefer 2 weeks. 1 week doesn't tend to give people enough time to acclimate and kind of immerse themselves in the program and the curriculum, and it's not really as effective for teaching. It's not always the best experience for both volunteers and the children. So 2 weeks is really our sweet spot with that. You also asked about visa for Bali. You might need one if you left the airport for layover, but if you don't, you might not need one. That is a question that we will also kind of address more in detail, especially with the ambassador who knows a lot more about that than I do. I think you may not, but please don't quote me on that, because I myself have not been to Bali and I'm not 100% sure. But that is another thing that in the process, when that happens, when we're at that stage, we help with. We have people who have experience with this and can help with all of those aspects. I think, Katya, you have another question, yeah?
I was just wondering, like, what the average ages of volunteers. Is it all over the map, or is there services?
Yes, it is kind of all over the map. We have as young as 18 and then up to, I want to say 70-ish. Because a lot of people who do it are also kind of retired in their day-to-day career, and so they have a little bit more free time to do volunteering. But then we also have groups of people, you know, who have kind of just gotten their swim teaching certification, really young people in uni or not even started uni, going out because it's something that they're passionate about. Anika, hopefully I'm saying that right.
It's Annika, yeah. Hiya.
Annika, yeah.
I have a couple questions. Do you run any courses over Christmas? Possibly.
Not over Christmas. The closest one is Peru, which starts in January. So we have previously had students go out like that very first 2 weeks before their school started back. But at the moment we don't have anything that's specifically going over like Christmas, December.
Yeah. Okay. I was only asking because when I work, they give you the Christmas break off.
Right, yeah.
That's kind of it. It's on the full-time work, so I'll probably have to reevaluate.
That's fine. We can discuss options maybe later if that would be helpful. We've gone a little over time, but we can still do questions. Yes, I can share my contact details. I will type it in the chat, but it is also ash@swimtayka.org. And all of the kind of emails you've been receiving for inviting you to this call and then other emails, most of those are probably coming from my email address as well. So you should be able to go back through your inbox, find something from me, and then just respond to it or copy the address, however you choose to do it. So I will kind of officially end this webinar. Thank you everybody for coming. I am so glad so many of you were able to make it and that you all had such really good questions. I will stay on for a few minutes longer in case anybody wants to ask a couple maybe more personal questions about their specific circumstances, etc. But otherwise, I will hopefully hear from you soon. You will definitely hear from me soon. And I hope you're all getting pretty excited about volunteering. Thank you again so much for coming, and goodbye.
Thank you, Ash. Good night, everyone. Bye.